everybody, welcome to another Gridiron Gurus video. Today we're going to be going over our top 10 sleepers and our top 10 busts for the upcoming fantasy season. And we're going to kick it off first with our top 10 sleepers. I'll go first. Okay. Number 10 for our sleepers, we're going with Randy Moss out in San Francisco. What do you think about Randy Moss in San Fran?
I think he could have one last hurrah out there, go out with a nice little decent season. Not going to be top 20 or nothing, but something you actually want to start in your third receiver or possibly flex position.
Fair enough.
Up next, number 9, we went out with Ridley, New England, the running back. It's new territory out there for him. New everything for the running game. Just going to have to see how he pans out there. Could be good, but never know.
Never know. They got Ridley, they have Vereen. They cut Joseph Adai earlier in the preseason. Other than that, it's just those two. There's another rookie out there, but it's kind of all up in the air. They're a passing offense, so we'll see. But we do like Stephen Ridley. We're filming this on the third preseason game on Friday, and Stephen Ridley did have over 50 yards and a touchdown tonight, so we like that. Coming in number 8, Josh Gordon from Cleveland. He was the pick in the supplemental draft by the Browns. They gave up a second-round pick to get him. We believe that he could be a very good player in this league. He's drawn comparisons to Brandon Marshall, Randy Moss. He's going to be very green at this point, but we'll see what happens with him. But we have high hopes, so he's our number 8 sleeper this year.
All right, and at number 7, we have Ruben Randall out in New York. Probably going to be the third starter out there. Mario Manningham was out there last year, but he is gone now, so we expect Ruben Randall to pick up all the slack Mario Manningham had.
At number 6, we have Kendall Wright. Not really sure how much of a sleeper he is, but out in Tennessee they do have, Nate Washington, Kenny Britt, who we'll talk about a little later. Damian Williams. They have a lot of receivers out there, plus Chris Johnson, plus Jared Cook. So we'll see. We'll see where he goes.
And starting at number 5, we have Chris Rainey and Dwyer out in Pittsburgh. We know Mendenhall had that late ACL tear last season. Isaac Redmond is in, but he also has a hip injury at the time. So a little unstable there. So anybody could come out of Pittsburgh for a starting running back. So if you have a later pick, come up with Rainey or Dwyer. Could both be values later in the draft.
Absolutely. It's kind of a deep sleeper coming with Chris Rainey. Dwyer's kind of the guy to go with this time, but he was injured in the preseason as well, so you never know. Especially if you're in one of those deeper dynasty leagues, definitely guys you want to pick up and stash on your bench. Coming in at number 4, we have Mike Williams from Tampa Bay. This isn't a guy that a lot of people would have on their sleepers list, but as far as we're concerned, Tampa Bay picked up Doug Martin.
Yep. They
already have LeGarrette Blount. Josh Freeman, came into camp 20 pounds lighter. He's looking to prove himself, and they signed Vincent Jackson and Dallas Clark. So, a lot of opposing defense are going to be focused on the running backs, Vincent Jackson and Dallas Clark, leaving Mike Williams open for hopefully a lot of big games for you if you take him late. And he's going to go late. You're not going to have to draft him in the 6th, 7th round. You're going to be able to get him in 11th, 12th round. So that's a really good guy to focus on trying to get.
Number 3, we have Jaquiz Rogers. Well, he's going to be starting off the year at the 3rd down running back, but his main focus this year is going to be pass catching ability, where Turner somewhat lacks at. And then towards the end of the year, he might steal some of the carries from Turner as Turner is getting older and running out of gas. So we look for him to have a positive influence from starting now going into the future.
All right, and then at number 2, we have Rashad Jennings. He's the backup to Maurice Jones-Drew in Jacksonville. The reason we have Rashad so high is, Jones-Drew with this holdout, and he's demanding a lot of money and yada yada. He's kind of being a little
possible trade,
little bastard about it, to be honest with you. But possible trade. If he gets traded, Jennings becomes a starter. Otherwise, if he continues to hold out, which could linger into the regular season, Jennings can end up starting at least 1 to 4 or 5 weeks, however long this holds out. As long as Jones-Drew keeps continuing to do what he's doing, the owners don't seem to want to give in. So Jennings could possibly be a big sleeper, and you could get him late in the draft, where Jones-Drew could go in the first 2 rounds, probably the first round. So that could be a big sleeper for you.
Then our number 1 sleeper in this year's draft for you guys would be Titus Young of the Detroit Lions. We think Matthew Stafford already has proven himself as an elite quarterback.
Absolutely.
And he has to have somebody else to throw the ball to besides Megatron. And we think Titus will be a very, very sufficient number 2 wide receiver where you can easily start. Maybe this year, but he's definitely some young talent that you would love to have on your team.
Especially for a dynasty league.
Yeah.
If you want to get him in a dynasty league, that's a huge plus.
Yeah.
You figure
so young, so valuable.
Exactly. And Nate Burleson, he's on the downcline of his career.
Yep.
The other thing is their running game is just it's crap.
Not there.
I mean, you got Javid Best is hurt.
Yeah. Kevin Smith is who knows.
Kevin Smith, yeah, he's always hurt too. I mean, you never know. And
some suspensions out there.
LaShore, it just gets suspended. I mean, their running game is a mess. Titus Young is probably going to be the number 2 starter wide receiver.
Yep.
And
that's why he's our number 1 sleeper this year.
Absolutely.
Moving on to top 10 bust for the season. I'd like to start you off at Ryan Matthews at number 10. Yes, he is a top, probably round 1 or 2 back, but every year he gets hurt.
Every year.
It's just, can you trust him? And so far, we haven't been able to.
Exactly. We're not big fans of Ryan Matthews.
No.
You know, if I got told that if I had the number 4 pick in a dynasty league to pick Ryan Matthews, and I just laughed. That was this year. I mean, and he got hurt on the first carry of preseason. That is not good news for anybody.
That's just bad voodoo to start the season.
Exactly. Moving on, number 9. We kind of covered this in our sleepers with Quiz Rogers. Number 9, we have Michael Turner. Michael Turner rushed for he had a good year last year. He had a lot of big games. He had a lot of crap games.
Yeah.
So we have him at number 9.
Total stats does not show what he did last year.
Exactly.
All right, at number 8, we have Ahmad Bradshaw. We think he might be a bust just because he always tends to have a little nagging injuries throughout the season. Sometimes plays through them, sometimes has to sit through them.
A foot injury.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Nagged me last year. And he also has D. Wilson now in town, new rookie that they just drafted, who we think could come in halfway through the season towards later in the season and end up almost taking his starting job.
Again, unfortunately for my dynasty team.
Yeah.
Can't get David Wilson. What can you do? Moving on at number 7, we have Fred Jackson. A lot of people are high on Fred Jackson. You know, between the two of us, we're not sure why. 31-year-old running back with people say not a lot of miles on him,
yeah.
But he played a lot overseas, so
yeah.
He's taking the carries, he's taking the hits, and at 31, we don't really recommend taking a Buffalo running back at all.
Yeah, Spiller's behind him, but it's still.
He's really iffy. Yeah.
He hasn't proven himself either. Last year he had spurts, but nothing that you can grasp and be like, yes, finally he's here.
Exactly. So we're staying away from Fred Jackson at number 7.
All right, number 6, I got Laurent Robinson. Yeah, he had a big year last year in Dallas with Tony Romo, decent quarterback. Injuries gave in to him having a big year. But still, people are still looking at him that they could easily have him as like a number 2, 3 wide receiver and feel safe, which we don't think you should do.
Absolutely not.
I think his touchdowns will fall, his catches will fall, and his yards will all fall.
Absolutely. Moving on quickly here to number 5, Reggie Bush. First 1,000-yard season in his career last year, and we just don't see that happening again. They drafted Lamar Miller in the 2nd round, I believe. Another running back to go along with Daniel Thomas, who they drafted last year, and it just seems like he's got 1 year left in Miami, and he's going to be on the way out. You know, they're just going to make that happen, so...
Number 4, we have Kenny Britt, who is full of injuries and full of trouble.
He really is.
He can play when he's on the field, but he's never on the field.
He's an athletic beast.
Yeah.
He's, you know, if you had to compare it with just his athletic ability, he's top 10 receiver.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but he's just a troublemaker.
Yeah, it's just you can't get fantasy points if you're not on the field.
Absolutely.